Bam! So in this video, we'll be going over a two-step exercise that'll help you break any mental barrier and help you become your best self. And it's foolproof, so you know I gotta give it to you. Let's break it down. Now, I created this method. I used to play football at Georgia Tech. And like most athletes, I had a plan A, no plan B. I thought I was going pro. When that didn't happen, I found myself in this depressed state. I felt like I let everybody down. I was a failure. I couldn't accomplish anything. And it just led me to a dark place. Even after playing sports, like I found a good job. I was doing real estate and I was making good money, but like I still wasn't happy. I didn't feel like my best self. I felt like there was a void that I had to fill. And I tried to fill the void. I was drinking, like I would go out and every social event I was drinking. And I found myself drinking more and more. And before I knew it, I was just drinking just to drown the noise or just to cope with feeling like a failure. I would binge eat. Like I used to literally eat a six pack of M&M ice cream cookie sandwiches in one sitting. And anybody that knows me can give you a testimony and tell you I was eating. I was eating. Even though I had achieved a certain level of success, I just didn't feel like it was enough. And the further I went down the path of drinking and binge eating, I lost myself more and more and more until it hit a certain point where I didn't even recognize myself. I was completely unrecognizable to me. So one night I'm on the way home after a long day of work. Like it's a long day. I'm a little sleepy, but I'm like, man, I can make it. I can make it. So I'm driving, and to this day, I still to this day don't remember dozing off. But I dozed off. I veered off the road. I hit a cement pole head on. Cement pole head on, airbags didn't deploy. Like I was completely out of it. But in that moment, I realized I will die here. I will literally watch my life go to waste. I will literally let the days go by and BS my entire life away. And I didn't want that. So I knew I had to make a change. And that change started with first shifting my mindset and how I thought about everything. Now, the complete transformation I call the 180 method. And that's what I coach my guys through. But two exercises in the 180 method that, if applied, can change your life instantly. I'll break it down. First, I would get up every single morning and I would write in my journal. But in my journal, I would write at least three things that I was grateful for. Three things that I was grateful for in my journal. But what that did was that shifted my mindset from thinking so negative to thinking positive. Everything that I was complaining about and down about and upset about, I shifted to something positive. So let's say me coming home after a long day of work and taking care of the kids, they used to overwhelm me. They used to frustrate me because I felt like I'm out here working. I'm working hard. The last thing I want to do after a long day of work is have to come home and have to take care of kids and deal with all kind of craziness. But what I realized is when I wrote in my journal that taking care of my family and having my family was something that I was grateful for, my mindset shifted. I was grateful to come home and have the opportunity to have a family and take care of my kids. Same thing in terms of when business got hard, like business would get hard and I would get frustrated. I was like, man, I am a failure and I'm down and I'm whatever. I had to realize, man, I'm grateful for owning a business and being able to help people, right? So these are things that I'm grateful for. So I shifted my mindset. And you hear the term glass half empty, glass half full. It's literally that principle applied. Take the things that are overwhelming you and find one thing that you're grateful for. Every sense of adversity or whatever is troubling you, find one thing that you are grateful for in that moment. And I guarantee it will shift your perspective. Like, if my car broke down in a thunderstorm, right? And I had to walk a mile home, you know what? Uh oh. You know what? At least I don't have to get gas anymore. And at least me walking through the rain, you know, I'm cleaner now, whatever it is. Some level of gratitude will shift your perspective. But what I had to learn is your focus determines your emotion. Whatever you focus on, that's where your emotion will be, right? So if you focus on all the negative things, all the downside, you have no choice but to be down. But if you find that one thing or those couple things that you're grateful for, you find the positive in every situation, that shifts your emotion. And if that emotion changes from negative to positive, we have better days. We're happier. We're thriving now, right? All because we decided to display gratitude and shift our focus, and that changed our emotion. So the first step, get your journal, write down the things that you're grateful for, shift your focus so it can shift your emotion. All of the things that I was using to cope because I was feeling down, I was feeling depressed, I was feeling like a failure, all of those bad habits I was able to replace with good habits, right? So I didn't feel the need to go drink anymore, right? Self-improvement and going to the gym and bettering myself long term for the people that I loved and for myself, that was what boosted me up, and that's what made me feel better. I didn't need to drink anymore. I replaced that bad habit with a good habit, all because I shifted my focus. Same thing with binge eating. I focused on foods that made me feel good long term. I didn't want to go eat the 6 pack of M&M ice cream cookies. No, because I knew that was a coping mechanism, that was a quick fix, that in the long run was hurting me, right? All of those things were hurting me. All those foods that I was eating was only making things worse. So I replaced them with healthier foods, foods that made me feel good, foods that gave me energy, but foods that would help me long term as opposed to just a quick fix. Now, the next step in the exercise is define what success is to you. Define what success is to you, right? So I literally got a piece of paper, right? And I wrote down what it would take for me to feel like I was successful. And on my list of things that made me successful, helping people was something that I deemed to be a successful thing for me. Being able to have a family and support my family was something that I deemed successful for me. But I realized up until that point, I let other people define what success was for me. So my idea of success was in the control of other people. I had to take that power back and define what success was for me. And what I realized when I defined what success was for me, I realized in that moment I was really successful already. Like I was doing the things that I wanted to do. I had goals that I hadn't accomplished, but as far as being a success to me, most of those things I already had. And the things that I didn't have, I could build a plan around and execute on. But determining what success was for me helped me take back that power of my life. It helped me take back the power of feeling like I wasn't in control. Because once I determined what success was, I was able to control a lot more of my life, right? So between these two exercises, get in a journal, write down 3 things that you're grateful for, which will help us shift our focus and help us shift our emotion. And 2, writing down what success is for us, writing down what success is for you. What is a successful life for you? And once you find that, once you find what's successful for you, you'll learn that a lot of those things you're either already accomplishing or it's not as hard to get as you think. But it'll help you take control and power back of your life instead of giving other people the influence to control your life and what you think is successful.